facility will not only serve as a shining example of sustainable buildings, but it will also serve as a living laboratory for our students, our faculty, and staff here at Georgia Tech.
First of all, I think it's going to dispel a lot of myths about the South cannot have high-performance buildings. The South is one of the most challenging climates in the world to design for, but we can do it here. We can have buildings that generate more energy than they use, that capture all the water they need from the skies, that use materials wisely and have healthy building design.
Our biggest goal will be how we can educate not only Atlanta, but also the people that are involved with this particular project. And I think that Georgia Tech, being an institution of engineering, is a great opportunity to actually get this message out.
The Living Building Challenge is not just about a building or even just about energy and water sustainability, but it's really about also bringing in social equity, individuals' health, and Georgia Tech was going to be a perfect partner to sort of explore all of those things with us.
You're going to find that this building not only leads in practice, it will drive changes in the practice.
We want this to be the building that keeps on giving. And when it's finished, it will continue to inspire, to be an impetus for bringing new materials, new ways of building, new ways of using water, and saving energy.
The project is part of a continuum of ever greener buildings that Tech has put on campus, and we felt blessed really to have a partner that would embrace the building without feeling that building a building to these specifications would be a chore.
The lessons I believe that we learn here at Georgia Tech will be invaluable in helping the entire state, rural areas, urban centers move forward and take advantage of the clean energy economy.
We're trying to build the building using a number of materials that have not generally been used at the forefront of construction all the time. We're trying not to use materials that we're all accustomed to using. I think the real challenge, though, is putting this together with all of the environmental concerns, all of the environmental constraints, and to create a lasting, wonderful environment that students are going to be able to do great things in for the next 50 to 100 years.
We looked back to look forward. We went back to some vernacular architectural systems such as deep overhang porches and large tree canopies to minimize the energy use while also integrating new technologies such as exterior motorized blinds and a radiant heating and cooling system to also reduce that energy load.
The primary thing that we're looking for in the design of this building is to create a paradigm shift. One good example of that is looking at thermal comfort and what it means to be comfortable in a building, allowing for buildings to actually expand with the seasons.
Sustainability is not just about protecting the environment. It is about creating a strong, equitable community, and through the efforts of all the students on campus, Georgia Tech has strived to become the epitome of a sustainable university.
Yeah, we're really excited for the project in the Southeast because it's going to serve as a model. We now have an example that we're going to be able to point to that say, look, it is possible to take buildings and they don't have to come with a requisite burden on the environment. They can work with their environment. They can give back. It's a really important breakthrough. And if we've got one that's working and it's online in Atlanta, then everybody in the Southeast can point to that building, and we now have an example that it can be done.
Georgia Tech is producing the next generation of architects and engineers and scientists and public policy experts, not just for Atlanta, not just for Georgia, but really for the Southeast and beyond. And so to be able to put this building in an environment where that entire next generation of leaders was going to have access to the project was exciting for us.